everybody. Lance Russell sitting in today. Randy Hales for the vacationing Dave Brown. And Randy, it's good to have you right here today, partner. We get to work Coliseum matches and that sort of thing, but very seldom ever have we done it here on Championship Wrestling.
Appreciate you having me, Lance. We have a super show today.
Yes, sir. We got some doggone good names in here. Of course, you'll be looking at some outstanding matches. Jimmy Jack Funk is going to be here today. We've got an interesting one coming up a little later on. Jeff Jarrett and Hector Guerrero will be in that.
Main event anywhere in the country.
You better believe it. Bruise Brothers will be here. The big tall guys, Ron and Don. The sponsorship
really
of Sawyer Brown. Yeah, they're coming along very, very well. Be interested in seeing them. Lots of other action coming up today. We have some interesting tapes that I think you're going to be interested in seeing, too. Tell you what, after all that interesting conversation, what do you say we take time out? We'll be back with our opening bout coming up in just a moment. At the opening, when Randy and I were talking about the opening there we've got coming in today, and boy, we're delighted to have him here. One of the big giants of the wrestling business, Scott Hall from Orlando, Florida, will be right here with us on Championship Wrestling. Looking forward to seeing Scott in action. Well, I probably ought to have my head forward for the simple for saying it, but
Santa Claus is coming to town. Hey, all you gringos out there, remember Santa Claus is coming to town, you know. And in Mexico, we got a little bit more natural pride than you all. You know, you all copy our songs.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Let me give you a little. I ain't the greatest music writer or singer in the world, but at least I can sing it the right way. You know, you all copy all our songs. You all copy all our songs, and this is the way it goes. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. You see, songs like that is all you all copy. All you people out there, Hank Williams, all you other people that copy our songs, stop copying our songs. Like I said before, United Steelers of America, you are to be hands taken off with the hats. That's right. One more thing.
I thought you were coming out here with a Christmas greeting. That's the reason I said, yeah, come on.
Yeah, did you hear my song? Santa Claus is coming to town. Did you hear that?
Oh, well, I didn't understand exactly that was your...
Wait a minute. Really, that song was from one of our greatest composers, Dr. Emilio Charles Quintero. He's the best man that ever wrote any songs, and all you people keep copying our songs. Let me tell you one thing about all you gringos, and you still my favorite chicken skin. You know that? Oh, yeah. I love you, Lance. Well, baby, you know, baby. Let me tell you people one thing. In my country, one thing is more important than anything else, and that is the real true meaning of Christmas. And it's not all this Santa Claus and all this hokey pokey. Really, I want to tell you, all you little children out there, there ain't no Santa Claus. There ain't no Santa Claus. If you look at me like that, Randy Hale, because you're not getting your presents tomorrow either, or you ain't going to get your presents either, Jerry Lawler, or Jeff Jarrett, or anybody else, if you keep coming out here and imitating the wrong people with the wrong food and the wrong situation. I'm getting tired of this situation coming around. Shut up!
You have a different way of celebrating Christmas in Mexico, or what? What are you out here knocking our Christmas for?
Let me tell you something. We know how to celebrate Christmas the true and the real way. You'll find out.
Okay, Hector Guerrero. Oh, boy, I'm telling you, that guy, I never learned my lesson with him. Okay, let's get a little action going in here. We've got a dandy coming up here, is coming in right now. T.J. Randy, how about the official introduction?
It's a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match, and we introduce wrestling out of Arkansas at 273 pounds. The Freezer, William Thompson. Don't have time for the announcements, Lance. T.J. Khan from Singapore attacks the Freezer before the bell. This T.J. is wild and crazy and very vicious, Lance.
I don't think he was waiting for any introductions. Boy, he hit the ring and just immediately took it. Jumping on the Freezer and backs him up into the ropes, whips him across the ring. Oh, rattled him. This guy, one thing that you have got to say right off the bat when you look at him, you notice what a physical specimen he is. He, in fact, has got himself a body that is very strong, very rugged, and a little touched up head, I want to say. This guy, he gets in the middle of the ring and he doesn't understand wrestling. Bang, bang, bang. He uses physical force strictly. Joe in there with William the Freezer Thompson, referee Jerry Calhoun, as he continues to chop on the Freezer. Freezer never got off and started at all. He was down from before the warning bell because T. Joe Khan went flying across the ring. Before the introductions were finished, the bell rang or anything, and just jumped on Freezer. Kicks him out of there.
We noticed, Lance, that T. Joe Khan's manager, Mark Gouline, is not here today in championship wrestling.
That's true. Okay with me.
Okay with me, too.
Gouline got his nose into it by, oh man, leaps off that second rope with a flying clothesline, nails the Freezer, knocks him straight down in the center of the ring, and comes straight back up with a jab, and the referee gets on him about jabbing at the throat, kind of 1, 2, he got him. T. Joe Khan.
That's really no surprise when this is T. Joe Khan, vicious, and it's not over yet. He's won the match, but he sends Freezer Thompson out of the ring, and looks like he's going out after him.
Yeah, hits the floor.
Watch out.
It just continues, and problem with a guy like that is you have no idea what in the world he's going to do. T. Joe Khan slamming Freezer Thompson's head down on the desk, and now the referee helping the Freezer up while we pick up all the material that got knocked asunder here. What I was saying is that Mark Gouline stuck his nose in, I'm afraid, with the Midnight Rockers, and boy, their attitude has certainly changed since the bonus signing and all of that sort of thing. We've got a little something coming up. Told you about some interesting action tapes that we have on the program today. One of them has to do, for you folks who are not aware of it, there's a big tournament in Memphis, Tennessee. It's kind of an ongoing thing, and it consists of eliminations and so forth. It's called the Lord of the Ring tournament. Now, this particular tournament has as a prize a custom-made ring. It's like a Super Bowl ring. Boy, is that son of a gun something, too. I mean, worth like 10 grand. Peril Jewelers in Memphis are customizing this for the winner of the Lord of the Ring tournament. And it's got a total of about 6 carats of diamonds and rubies and so forth in there, worth $10,000. And it brings out the best of everybody's wrestling area. One of the matches, Randy, as you well know, consisted of the entry by the World Heavyweight Champion, Kurt Hennig, who wanted in on this from the AWA. And in the first round, as it would, Jerry Lawler and Kurt Hennig met for the first round Lord of the Ring action. I want you, this took place in Memphis, Tennessee at the Mid-South Coliseum. Please note how Hennig starts this match. This will show you what he wanted to do in terms of winning. Take a look. This is a non-title match, Lawler and Kurt Hennig, the world champion.
Well, that Kurt Hennig, oh, the ring hasn't even sounded. Hennig puts Lawler with a big left, stomping on him with a right foot.
Well, I'll tell you, they've met officially once right in Memphis, Tennessee for the world title. Hennig does not like Lawler, but furthermore, he knows that Lawler is the man who is capable of dethroning him. He found that out in their first meeting. Kurt Hennig now takes Lawler into the corner, slams his head on the top turnbuckle, catches him with a wide open right hand, draws a reprimand from the referee, and the king is down in the middle of the ring, catches a foot to the side, and look at Hennig come right in on top. The Lawler fans saying, come on, King. We've talked about it for years. Look at this, a count of 1, count of 2, and Lawler just gets the left shoulder up. Hennig almost had him. He sure did.
Boy, Kurt Hennig has not let up 1 second before the bell rang. He made him a big left hand. And he continued pounding, and Hennig throws him into the ropes, and as Jerry comes off the road, another big left hand right in the middle.
Live from the Mid-South Coliseum, you're looking at championship wrestling, and I am here to tell you, this one is a double-aught tough match. Kurt Hennig Double hands Lawler over on the ropes. The referee saying, back up, let him off the ropes, let him off the ropes. We've talked about for years that Jerry is a slow starter, but when you're against a world champion, you can't afford to get off too slow, and I'm afraid to tell you that Lawler is having one of those nights, and it's such a slow start. I hate to see it get that way, Roger.
You're absolutely right. He's known for that. Boy, he's got him, but over 2 count. No, it's left leg on the rope. The referee sees it, and he calls for the break. Henning picks him up by the hair. Wow, what a chop.
Boy, he backhanded him right off his feet. And Lawler catches a knee lift from Henning, and again, he is laying on his back, middle of the ring, as the crowd start to holler. Bring Jerry up off his feet if they can. There's support. Ooh, the left shoulder again comes up. Henning had him in a pin position, but he couldn't put pressure on both sides, and Lawler got the left shoulder up. Henning, infuriated, they didn't get a 3 count, pounds with a right hand, and the referee, Jerry Calhoun, says, you better open him up or it's going to be a disqualification. Big elbow, top of the head, Lawler staggering around. He just may knock Lawler right back into this match. I've seen that happen before, Roger.
Yeah, you can push Lawler so far, and after that, you know what happens. A strap goes down, and look out, Katie bar the door. But boy, he's pounding Lawler in the corner in the turnbuckle. The head right in the buckle.
I hope he's got enough strength left to pull that strap down. Henning is relentless. Digs him across the eyes, and the referee steps in between, and Henning turns around and says, where's the competition at? Lawler with a stinging right hand takes it, takes another right hand from Henning. Jerry now on his feet, snaps the strap down, and Roger, this could be what the folks were hoping for. Here comes the King with a pretty sizable right hand of his own.
1, 2, 3, big right hand. 4. Yeah, he's got him in the corner. 6.
4 minutes into the action, and the King lets it go on the world champion. Remember, it's a non-title match, but let me tell you, the prestige of being able to pound around a world champion is something Lawler's going to take advantage of. He is not only looking at that prestige, but at that 10,000. Uh-oh, and there goes Jerry Calhoun. Henning slung him in, Lawler into Calhoun. Lawler knocked Calhoun 3 feet in the air underneath the bottom rope. Henning picks Lawler up, drops him astraddle the top rope, and Lawler is down, but the referee is too, so there is no count. Henning goes over to get referee Jerry Calhoun up, picks him up and says, come on, man, count. Lawler ducks under a right hand. Atomic knee, and Henning hangs himself as his head got wrapped in between the top and the second rope. The referee now back up on his feet. Lawler shaking for a little extra rest in there. The referee releases Henning, and Lawler immediately drops down with that right fist on Henning's head. Did he get him? 1, 2, 3. He got him. The winner in 5 minutes, 22 seconds. The King, Jerry Lawler. Big prestige match to beat the champion, even in a non-title bout. But the biggest thing is it keeps Lawler in the Lord of the Ring tournament. It was Whaler. We got a lot of other action. We're going to be back. Jimmy Jack Funk will be in here before long. Be back with it in just a moment. Wednesday night, Evansville Coliseum, brother. I'm telling you what, it is business as usual. I mean action. You better believe one of the bouts that you're going to want to see is when Big Scott Hall tangles with a Hangman Bobby Jaggers in a loser leave town match, Nate the Rat.
God, Hall, you'll never put your hands on me again and get away with this, brother. Bobby Jaggers, my main man's gonna take this cane and put it upside your head, and we're gonna run you plumb out of town, brother. You're not gonna get away with this one.
Someone will be running out of town after that match. Scott Hall, Hangman Bobby Jaggers. Another bout you're going to want to see is that cage match. I mean, the big cage, my friend. There won't be any easy running in and out of that son of a gun. When the superstar, Bill Dundee, makes an impression, I am sure, on the Singapore Maniac. Let's listen to Mark Goulin right now.
Bill Dundee, you cowardly dog. We're here today to announce your demise. You ran all over the Coliseum from T.J. Khan. You did everything you could to get away from him. But this time you're in a cage, and you have signed your own death warrant. Because in a cage is where my animal is at home. And there will not be enough left of you to send home in a shoebox, Bill Dundee. You are done.
Oh, yeah, Dundee and T.J. Khan will be going at it. Also, Jeff Jarrett gets another crack at Hector Guerrero. All of that and more Wednesday night in the Coliseum. Okay, Randy, we're ready to go. Randy Hale sitting in with us today for the vacationing Dave Brown, and we're about ready for our next match, Randy.
One fall, 15-minute time limit, wrestling out of Tennessee, Lance. David Johnson, his opponent, wrestling out of the state of Texas, Jimmy Jack Funk.
Jimmy Jack, wild and woolly son of a gun, and I'll tell you one thing, David Johnson has not got the easiest task in the world to get in there with Jimmy Jack. We've seen this guy get absolutely insane too many times, Randy.
That's right, Lance. It's been a long time since we've seen David Johnson, and he's against one of the tough guys from the famous Funk family. And Johnson trying to fight back, but Jimmy Jack Funk just too big and too tough for him.
On top of the rope, he bounces him down, and David Johnson just hits the mat as Jimmy Jack stays on him. We've made this comment so many times that when you see Funk, you don't realize how big he is, but this guy is 263 pounds, and you stand next to him, and boy, you can just feel the size of him. David Johnson trying to fight his way back, goes over to the corner, and as he comes off, Jimmy Jack ducks underneath him. David was going to try to get a flying press, but over the top he went. Jimmy Jack picks him straight up in the air, holding him there. Now with that spinning power slam. One, that's going to be it, my friend. So, not too long as Jimmy Jack Funk made short work of David Johnson, who gave it all he had. He missed that one big shot that he had with a flying press.
Taylor, I'm coming for you Monday night, and you're gonna regret ever hearing the name Funk.
Okay, there's Jimmy Jack. We'll take time out. We got more wrestling action coming up in just a moment. Litchfield, Kentucky at the Grayson County High School. You can save $1 by getting your ticket in advance. We'll have more specific details on it as we get a little bit closer to it. Thursday, January the 7th, Litchfield, Kentucky. All right, let's go back and review the action coming in Wednesday night to the Evansville Coliseum. A dandy nightmare is going to be taking on Jimmy Jack Funk. Return grudge match when the RPMs will be facing the Bruise Brothers, Ron and Don. That'll be a good one. Billy Travis may have a surprise for Manny Fernandez, the Raging Bull, in a single challenge match. Loser leave town, Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Big Scott Hall. Cage match, T.J. Khan and the superstar, Bill Dundee. And then the final bout, Jeff Jarrett going against Hector Guerrero. And you'll be seeing more of that action, you better believe, Wednesday night when it all takes place right there in the Evansville Coliseum. Make your plans right now to be out Wednesday. Okay, we're about ready to go with our next piece of action in here. This is the first time, to the best of my shaky memory, that Scott Hall has ever been live with us on Championship. Did we have him once before? Thank you, Randy. This is my walking memory bank right here. Randy can remember all of the weights and where the guys are from and whether they've been here before. So, we are about ready to see Scott Hall make his appearance, but that is not Scott Hall. There's a little discrepancy in the height. I can tell that right off the bat. This is Nate the Rat Whitlock, who is coming in. There is Scott Hall.
Talk to you, Lance Russell. Come up here.
Got a match coming up here.
I ain't got time for this match. I ain't got time for this jerk. I got something to say.
Yeah. Nate Whitlock was out here with Keith Eric, and what is it?
Everybody has saw Bobby Jaggers, the Hangman, the toughest man in professional wrestling. He's not here today, but everybody knows Bobby Jagger is the toughest man in professional wrestling. You know that.
He's a tough wrestler.
That's
no
right.
question about it.
And this is the greatest day of my entire life, let me tell you. This man right here, Mr. Keith Eric, I've been seeing him wrestle for years. And I'll admit his win and loss record is, a little bit be desired. But with my guidance and my management, this is a champion right here. This man right here is going to be the champion. And he'll beat that big jerk right there, Scott Hall. He's going to kick your butt, boy, is what he's going to do to you. And he's supposed to be an international wrestler. This is going to be one of the #1 days in professional wrestling in my life and this man's life right here, because he is going to beat that man right here today.
We got a match. Would you mind getting up in the ring and get this conversation over with?
If Bobby Jagger says, he'll slap your face. I'm a gentleman. I'm not going to slap.
All these people here and all the people watching at home came to see wrestling, not to listen to some jerk like you.
Hey, you heard what he said in there. Whoa! I think that closed that. I think that ended the interview.
Bobby Jagger's here. He beat that man to death. I ain't even let him get away with it. I broke my glass and he hit my head. Get it, Keith. Hit him.
Well, Nate the Rat felt the rat. Whoa! Look at the drop kick from Big Scott Hall on Keith Eric. He whips Eric over into the ropes, catches him in a big brawl on. Well, Bobby Jagger's in here. Keith Eric is here. He's in the middle of the ring.
Big leg drop, Lance. Scott Hall is in complete control of this situation with Keith Eric.
If Bobby Jagger's here, I can't see he's not going to get away with it. I'm going to get Bobby Jaggers. I'm going to call him up on the phone right now.
Whoa! Big bulldog. Scott Hall won. He got 2, and there's 3. And that's all.
If Bobby Jagger were here, he would have never done that to me. He ain't going to get away with it.
Hey.
I call him Jagger.
He may come back out here and have a word to say if you don't get out of here right now. Here he comes. I think you'd better get out of here right now.
Where's my cane at?
Okay, get your cane and take it on out of here. Keith Eric felt the power of Scott Hall, and boy, I'll tell you, he is strong, isn't he, Randy? Woo! And
I think Nate the Rat made a serious mistake there, don't you, Lance?
Yeah. Hall just picked him up, boom, set him down on the desk, and then pushed him over like a Cupid doll. Winner, officially, Scott Hall. Back in a moment. Up in the ring right now, Jeff Jarrett, as we are almost set and ready to go with a match we've been waiting on. This ought to be a good one.
I'm really excited about it, Lance. Here comes Hector. We're trying to get this match.
Let me tell you one thing. Hey, I got something to say.
Well, you got some more Christmas songs?
No more Christmas songs. No more Christmas songs for all you people out there. Just let me say one thing, and let it be known that the power and the agility and the skills of Hector Guerrero as a Mexican wrestler, which is superior to your American wrestling, is always 100% better. Let me tell you something. I've been watching this Jeff Jarrett and how all you people support him. I wouldn't support that chicken skin looking little chickie for nothing. Jeff Jarrett, all I ever see about you is when you get in the ring, is all you can do is throw a punch. No, I can talk, but I can back it up. Let me tell you something. Everything I say, I back it up 100%. Come here, Jeff. Come here. I got something to ask you. Come here. Come here. I got to go Jeff Jarrett right here, right now, Lance. Come here, Jeff.
You got any more hot peppers?
No.
A lot of talking over here.
Wait a minute. One thing. I I can back up my talking. I've always done it. Hey, and I've always been a 100% top athlete wherever I've been. Now, let's say one thing. You and I are scheduled for a match right now, right? That's right. Okay. I will prove that Mexican wrestling is a lot better than United States wrestling, and you can be the representative of the United States, and I'll be the representative of the United States of Mexico, because you all stole that name from us, you know, United States. We were United States before you were. So you all remember that. Hold on, Jeff. One thing, one stipulation, so we can have a good, clean, honest-to-goodness Mexican-American match. Notice how I said that, Mexican-American. We're first. Let me see. Whoever throws the first punch, come here, ref. One stipulation right here, and if you agree, I'm going to go for it. Whoever throws the first punch is automatically disqualified and loses the match. Is that all right? Do you agree for that?
Hey, do you agree for that?
I agree. I put up the stipulation, Hans. Hey, you want to get up there in the ring with me? Come on.
I don't want it.
Oh, you big booby. Anybody wants to get in the ring with me, I'll kick your butt.
I'll get in the ring with
Well,
you.
come on.
So you're saying the first punch or the first kick, you disqualify, you
Wait a
lose the
minute. We
match.
talked about the first punch, illegal punch, and we're talking about illegal.
All right.
There's forearms that are illegal. There's underarms that are illegal, right? Hey, okay, we're going to get up in the ring and we're going to see what kind of...
Are you going to talk him to death or get up there and go?
We're going to see what kind of cookies he's made out of.
All right. Hey, I like it. You better believe it. Hector's out here, and he's stepped into something that Jeff Jarrett loved, and that's to wrestle, not street fight or anything else. Guerrero's the one that says, first punch, you lose the match. Here we go, Randy.
15-minute time limit. Guerrero out of Mexico. Jeff Jarrett out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Guerrero backs him up, Lance. He gets a clean break. If he would have nailed him with the fist, it would have been all over, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. If the first one that throws a punch in there, Hector was talking about it. Oh, look at that. Nice. What a move. Put that arm, took him over and down. And Hector Guerrero. Hector, there's no question about it. Hector is a very agile, a very fast wrestler. This guy can move. He'll do all kind of neat acrobatics on you and have you in a hole before you know what's happening. Just look at that. He took the arm into a hammer lock and then hip tossed him before Jeff really knew he was around behind him. But he's going against a guy who is every bit as equal in speed, if not a little faster. Guerrero goes around behind, takes Jeff down, rolls him up, got a one, and look at Jarrett. Hooked him with a leg.
One thing, Lance, in the last 15 weeks, Jeff has looked real good, had some of the toughest matches of his career with Jerry Lawler, and also against the world heavyweight champion. Jeff has looked fantastic.
That's right. He wrestled Henning, wrestled Lawler. He's had them all, so Jeff is better prepared. So now Hector's complaining about all the chicken skins, as he called them, out in the audience. I'm telling you, this guy is a case and a half. Right now, he's caught in a standing side headlock, but he shakes Jarrett off. Big shoulder. Puts him down again. Now another standing side headlock as Jeff wraps him up. Nice.
Don't get a chance too often, Lance, to see these type of matches, wrestling matches on our championship wrestling.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Hector with a forearm shot to the rib twice on Jeff Jarrett. Double wrist lock up top, and they're struggling away. Guerrero gets a little advantage on Jeff. Takes him back. Hey, I got him now, he says. We're about look at it. Jeff Jarrett coming back up. We're coming up on the 3-minute mark in this action as Jeff Jarrett and Hector Guerrero going in a match. In case you just joined us, stipulations, believe it or not, made by Hector Guerrero. The first one that throws a punch loses the match. He's trying to show Jeff that he's a better wrestler than he is, and he's saying he's representing Mexico. Jeff is representing the United States. He's got him hooked now with an arm and a hammer lock. He comes with a reverse face lock and complicates the entire hold. Excellent move by Hector Guerrero. You can see the way he's got Jeff's arm doubled in there and has that right arm of his wrapped right across the chin bone. Jeff nails him to the midsection, reverses it on Hector.
Takes him down, Lance.
Yes, he does. Got him right down on the middle of the mat. Not close to a pin. We've got one fall, 15 minutes in this match, and we're about 3.5 minutes into the action.
Hector clinched up that fist, Lance, and he better remember the rules that he made.
Throw it, Hector. Go ahead. You want to lose the match. You're the one that brought. Oh. Guerrero reaches under, crotches him, takes him up while his arm is still hooked, and dropped him with a backbreaker across that knee. Got out of it. Now Guerrero cinching up on the feet. If you'll notice how Hector has it in, and now he stands Jeff. Can't get him up and hold him as he rolls him over, and he's hollering at the referee, "Why did you not count?" The referee say, "I did once." And that's all it was a 1 count. Hector Guerrero. Interesting, we have a couple of second-generation wrestlers in there right now. Randy, of course, Jeff, I think you're more familiar with. And then his dad, Jerry, was an outstanding wrestler. Hector Guerrero's father was an outstanding wrestler. And his brother, Chavo, and he has a younger brother. Whoa!
Count of 2, Lance.
Big backdrop. You betcha. Guerrero telling the referee it was only 2. It was only 2. The referee being well aware of it. You give him half a chance and Hector will talk your ear right off your head. I thought we were going to stand out here and talk all day before he ever got up in the ring.
Earlier, had a concert out here at the Versus show.
Oh, yeah, we had that also at the very beginning of the program. Scissors Jeff's leg, takes him down, and again hooks him with that reverse face lock, and boy, he is putting some pressure across that chin. Woo! Guerrero again with a snappy move. Little surprised that he came up with the stipulations about the first one to throw the punch, because he's been known to throw a few. No question, Jeff has thrown a few himself. Boy, gets him in that bow and arrow. Uh-oh. Thought he might have a submission pin on Jeff, but he had his own shoulders down, and the referee started counting. Hector had to scramble to get out of that, Randy.
I think Hector's losing his temper a little bit now, Lance. Also, I heard him asking for his own referee, so he's complaining about the referee now.
Okay, we're 6 minutes and 15 seconds into the action. A beauty.
Super drop kick, a second one, Lance.
There's a cover from Jeff. Foot of Hector's up on the rope. That'll break it up. Jeff had the pin, but Hector was so close to the rope, he slipped his foot right up over the rope. Now back in the corner, Hector Guerrero saying, wait, wait, wait. Let's talk about this. Look out, Jeff. When he wants to start talking, that's when you look out. Tangle it up. Collar and elbow, as they call it. Whip across the ring. Hooks that arm with that rolling arm lock, and look at Hector. Oh, trying to get Jeff mad now. Slaps him in the face. He backs Hector in the corner. Hey! Guerrero, 1, 2, feet on the rope. Great. Hector Guerrero hit him first while the referee was trying to pry him apart. And then he gets him down with the feet on the rope and gets a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Like you say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's what I say about you American people.
Okay, Hector, you can just leave in there. The referee, who, of course, was underneath when the fist was thrown, did not see the feet up there, follows Hector out of there, and Jeff is sitting in a situation where he ends up losing 1, 2, 3.
Lance, you saw exactly what happened, didn't you?
You
His feet were on the rope, or were they not?
They were on the rope.
I agreed to a wrestling match, and that's what I thought I was going to have. He wants to come out and use the fist, and then he wants to put his feet on the ropes with Hector Guerrero. That's fine with me, pal. I'll fight fire with fire. If you want to use fist, brother, I guarantee I'll shove this fist so far down your throat, brother, you want to, it's going to take a crane to pull it out.
I don't think we're going to have, if these guys meet again, there won't be any rule like we had before, because Hector got him right in the middle of that corner. While the referee's trying to pry him apart, he reached over, bam, and nailed him a solid one, and then put his feet up on the ropes. A lot of people have been saying, how about that Jeff Jarrett poster? Can we get some information? Take your pencil right now and write down this number, because I think you may be interested yourself. Take a look at this.
Snakeskin boots. Faded jeans. Broad shoulders. And blonde hair. Wow. Now that's a poster.
To order your Jeff Jarrett poster, call 1-800-336-2600. That's 1-800-336-2600. Save COD charges by having your credit card ready, or send a check or money order in the amount of $10 to Jarrett Poster, Post Office Box 3020, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08034. Allowed 2 weeks for delivery.
With Billy Travis and the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez. You'll also be seeing a Loser Leave Town with Bobby Jaggers and Big Scott Hall, Jeff Jarrett and Hector Guerrero, and the huge cage will be up. Bill Dundee and T. Joe Khan will be right inside of it. Billy, this one means nobody gets in, nobody gets out.
That's right. The only guy that gets out is the guy that walks out. Well, I'm sure we'll both walk out, but one will be standing in the middle of the ring before he does it with his hand raised, and I plan that on being me. Now, Mark Galena, I'm going to stop this before you get it started, brother. You were trying to put together the Midnight Rockers, T. Joe Khan, and anybody else that'll sign up with you. Well, you're not making no reputation on me, brother, because I've been coming to Evansville, Indiana an awful long time, and I don't mind getting beat because I've been beat before, and I'm sure I'm going to get beat again. But I like it when it's face on, brother, when I know exactly what's going on. I don't like to be jumped from the back like you and this idiot Chinaman that you brought in that did it a couple of weeks ago on television. So you're going to turn this big guy loose in this cage. Well, I'm getting in the cage too, brother. I don't know what you're going to say. He's only 5'7" and 200 pounds. Well, that's right. But just remember the first story, the first book they ever wrote, it was about a great big guy and a little fella. And I plan on keeping the reputation alive. Remember the story of little David and Goliath? Well, we all know who won that, brother. And I plan on winning this. Because I've been in a bunch of cage matches before, and I ain't won them all. But I'm going to win this one, brother, because I don't like you, and I don't like your Chinaman. I'm going to see all them nice folks in the Coliseum, and I'm taking that boy out.
Ring here with Ron and Don Bruce. The Blue Denim Bruce brothers will be in action in just a moment. Before they get it, we want to talk to not only the Bruce brothers, but I want to bring Scott Hall out here, because we saw him a little bit earlier, but we really didn't officially get an opportunity to talk to him. Scott, slide on in here, partner. We're delighted to have you right here with us from Orlando, Florida. I know you've been up to traveling and around a lot of different places. How things been going?
Well, I'll tell you, I just got back from Japan last week. I had a really successful month-long tour over there. And, you know, 88's just right around the corner, New Year coming our way. And it's not by mistake that you see a lot of the top names in the wrestling profession. Everybody seems to be descending on the mid-southern area. I just want to add my name to the list. I think that all the fans in the area, all the fans watched on TV are in for a real big treat in 88.
Listen, just to bring up something that happened a little bit earlier for the folks who saw it, they'll know what I'm talking about. Well, we'll tell you folks about it later on that didn't see it. Nate Whitlock was out here, and of course Nate is Bobby Hangman, Bobby Jaggers' manager, and Jaggers, I know you know of Jaggers' reputation and all, but he's saying, boy, if Bobby Jaggers had have been here, you wouldn't have done that to me. He was really
well, you know, I have my view on managers and valets and all that. I believe, you know, they have their part maybe behind the scenes. I don't really think managers should be involved in matches directly, but if the guy wants to run his mouth, take up valuable television time, the fans at home, all the fans here came to see wrestling. Am I right or wrong? They don't want to hear some little jerk running his mouth making idle threats. Now, Bobby Jaggers, I know all about you. Your reputation precedes itself. But, you know, you don't have to talk to some little weasel like that If you want a piece of Scott Hall, I'm easy to find. I'm 6'6". I'm nearly 300 pounds. You can't miss me when you walk in the building. So if you want a piece of me, I'm easy to find.
Okay, good luck to you. Boy, it's good to have you here, too. I want to tell you that. This guy, 287, and a large piece of merchandise. Hey, that's not all. Before we get them into the ring, see if we can get the Bruise Brothers out here before they get there. I want to see. Here they come over here. Fine. Before they get into the ring, I'm going to catch them because I think the last time we saw them, as a matter of fact, they had not had their first official match in this area. Ron and Don Bruise, hey, guys, we wanted to get you before you hit the ring in there. Step on in here with me. I've been dwarfed by a lot of people today, so that's okay. Listen, how's it going? I want to know the reaction. You know, we were just saying that we had you here before you had really your first official match in the Mid-South area. And so how's it been going since that time?
It's been going real good. There's a lot of good competition up here. It's a good area for us to start in, and it's just going real good so far.
Well, you, I know right off the bat you had to go in there against the rock and roll RPM. And that was kind of a baptism in itself right there, because those guys been around and they'll use anything, won't they?
It went a little bit, you know, off for us. But
well,
yeah,
hey.
They pulled out the knucks, and they got us with the knucks, but we'll be watching out for it next time.
I certainly hope. That's the biggest thing you got to learn is one match does not make an entire career, so look for them next time. Good luck to you guys. Okay. Delighted to have you right here. Ron and Don Bruise, the Blue Denim Bruise Brothers. They're sponsored by the great singing group Sawyer Brown, and while they head to the ring now, well, they're rough and ready coming up. Let's have the introductions, Randy.
If Jeff Jarrett won the Rookie of the Year, where did we finish up? How many votes did we get?
I don't think you want to know, boss. Let's have the introductions, Randy.
Okay, Lance. This match, as a matter of fact, expiration of time, wrestling under the mask, Rough and Ready. Their opponents wrestling out of the state of Florida, Ron and Don Bruise, and Rough and Ready attacks them from behind, Lance, as we ring the bell and get this one started. That's about the third one we started this way today, before the bell's even.
Everybody's eager to get it going, and now comes the kicker, and that's trying to tell Ron and Don Bruise apart when they're wheeling around the ring and all. It is very hard. That is Don in there right now.
I was going to say, Lance, I'll leave you in charge of identifying these guys.
The nice thing about it is that if we say it like we know which one it is, the folks out there don't know either, because they are tough to tell.
Won't have any idea.
Identical twins. They're right at 6'7". They weigh 501 pounds, and they are very good athletes. We had an interesting story from Mark Miller of Sawyer Brown, who was saying, my first remembrance of these guys is when they beat up the whole senior class, threw the principal out of the window, and he was kidding about that.
I think it's interesting, Lance, that a group like Sawyer Brown took an interest in professional wrestling. As of course, they were high school friends, but they're kind of like their sponsor or that sort of thing.
They sure are. And Mark, Hobie, and some of the guys come around, do the Bruise Brothers matches whenever it's possible and their schedule permits, which is not all that often. Now you see the smaller Rough running into the much larger Bruise brother, and they're both down. He had it going there for a second, but he tried to knock him over. You can't hardly take a pebble and bowl over a boulder. Count of one. He kicks out of it.
To make a change, Lance, which one is this coming in? Is this...
Okay, this is Ron that steps into the ring right now as the Bruise Brothers facing Rough and Ready, and a clothesline. Didn't catch him really that solid, but when you're that big, you don't have to catch him all that solid every time, because just part of the arm will tear you up. Standing side headlock as Ready whips around there and nails him, mares him over to the side, and makes a good move. Boss Winters takes the occasion to clap and say, there you are, how do you like that? But it didn't last long. Big, long head scissors slapped on him. Bruise Brothers, Ron and Don. Referee Jerry Calhoun telling Boss, stay away from the ring, will you please?
This Boss Winters has a big mouth, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's talking. He is a talker. I'll tell you, he's got supreme confidence in Rough and Ready, regardless of their schedule. He really backs him, and I'll tell you all about him. Don comes sailing into the ring now, plants a big, heavy fist. Knee lift. As he brings it up to the midsection, and you can see when you get against somebody of normal size, a tremendous leverage that these guys have, because they are big boys. They work out a lot in the gym, and they're just now starting their wrestling career. You got in on the beginning. These guys go on to be World Tag Champions. You can say, hey, I remember when they started. Referee Jerry Calhoun saying, watch the eyes, as Rough raked him across the eyes. Has that arm whipped around behind him, elbow. Drops down on his shoulder. There's a tag. And that's Ron that comes in with the arm bar back over on the rope. He's looking for a whip. Backdrop. He almost threw him all the way through the ropes, Randy.
It looked like it, Lance, and I don't know if this Rough or Ready, which one it is, but he gets out of there in a hurry.
Rough pounded down on the deck as we've got about 2 minutes to go in the expiration of time. And the match has essentially been all the Blue Denim Bruise Brothers. Rough wheeled across as Don comes in, takes over with a long clothesline, puts him down on the mat. But they have not been able to get a 3 count. Oh, here's a dandy for a guy of that height, and that is an abdominal stretch. Problem is, I don't know whether he's going to get a submission. He doesn't have that leg hooked the way he really wanted to. Beautiful move. Slipped down behind. Took him over. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Super move, Lance.
Really a beauty. He realized that he didn't have that abdominal stretch hooked exactly where he could get the pressure applied to its best advantage. But he was able to take him down from behind, roll him right up in a pin position, get a 1, 2, 3. Ron and Don Bruise come out the victors over the team of Rough and Ready, as Boss Winters once again has to face a defeat. We're going to take time out. Be back with a final word for you after we check our time. Very much. You're sitting in for Dave today. He's on vacation, and we appreciate and enjoyed having you right here.
Enjoyed it, Lance.
Okay,
Thanks for
let's
having
review what happened today. T. Joe Khan with an easy one over Freezer Thompson. Jimmy Jack Funk took the easy measure of David Johnson, and there's Scott Hall, after having deposited Nate the Rat right up here and then down on the floor, went on to take care of Keith Eric. Jeff Jarrett, Hector Guerrero in an interesting match. Hector proposed no fist, just straight wrestling. Well, he found out Jarrett could wrestle a whole lot better than he thought he could, and when they got in a corner jam over here with the referee's head down, he punches Jeff. Then when he gets him on, put his feet up on the rope, didn't he? And got a 1, 2, 3. He made young Mr. Jarrett very hot, I can say that.
He's ready for him, no doubt.
And Ron and Don Bruise came around, went against Rough and Ready, and they ended up victorious on our championship wrestling today. Well, all in all, it was fun. We got to hear some of Hector's smart remarks about Christmas and a few other things, and there's just no way to keep that guy's mouth shut. Hey, I want to say for everybody in the wrestling office, my friend, for Randy Hales and, of course, vacationing Dave Brown, Eddie Marlin, and everybody else, we hope you have a marvelous Christmas season. We wish nothing but the best and particularly good health. And until we see you next week, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.